Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Mad Tinker Gaming with me, your host, Mad Tinker. Now, in the past few videos, we've kind of talked about city teams and building city teams, and I believe what my alliance has finally narrowed it down to after talking to a bunch of them for running Dark Dimensions 3 when it comes out, is we wanted to focus on the Defenders, and we wanted to focus on Spider-Verse. Now, I know Sinister 6 gets you 2 legendaries, so by all means keep farming those up so you can get your Shuris and your Invisible Womans, which are going to be really useful in Ultima 7. But for the sake of our future thinking, what we're trying to work with here is most of us have selected Defenders and Spider-Verse. One, because the Black Suit Symbiote Spider-Man will be coming out soon, and I believe that's going to make the Spider-Verse team very useful. So what I did was I did a little research. I went through and I watched some Casino and Tony Binge Gaming, both really good guys. They do a lot of research. Casino's probably like one of the best guys to watch, so by all means check out his videos as well, and Tony Binge if you don't know who they are by now. And I went and found what they had put in for T4 abilities for their Defenders and their Spider-Verse. So I wanted to go over some of those today. Now, what I have up here currently on my screen that you're looking at is not probably what they have selected, but I'm going to go over it. Now, first I'm going to do the Defenders. So when we were going through here, Casino had, and this came from him about 2 months ago, to get Iron Fist's passive, which is the son of Kunlun here, up. He said that's the #1 priority to get up there because it's got healing. So when you go up to level 5 here, you're going to get an extra 10% chance to heal self and specified allies, and on turn heal plus 10% for healing for self and specified allies. So when you're reading this, on spawn heal self and defender allies for 30% of this character's max health. Heal additional city hero allies for 10% of this character's max health. On turn, 30% chance to heal self and defender allies for 20% of this character's max health, and heal additional city hero allies for 10%. So you're going to probably boost this up to like a 30% heal and a 20% heal is what this is looking like it's going for. And it might not seem like much, but I guess it's pretty beneficial. Now the Defenders are way outdated. They're probably not a top tier team, but they have the ability to heal. And that was one thing that we feel was probably going to be useful when you go into Dark Dimensions 3. So he had Iron Fist as the #1 thing to put in. So that was the best passive ability that he felt was needed for the Defenders. Let me go back here and we'll hit up the next one that he had on his list. The next one he had was the Punisher, because most people are running it with the Punisher. And his, on the Punisher here, was the passive ability, Lock and Load. The one, if at least one ally is a city hero, gain plus 10% chance to assist on non-attack abilities, gain plus 10% chance to assist on non-attack abilities per defender ally. And then you keep going down here. If Daredevil is an ally when an enemy attacks him, attack that enemy for 160% damage plus 10% piercing. So when you go down here and you upgrade it to 5, if Daredevil is an ally when an enemy attacks him, attack that enemy for 200% damage. So that's going to upgrade 40% right there. Chance to assist on non-attack abilities if at least one ally is a city hero increases by 10%. So that goes to a 20% chance to assist. Chance to assist on non-attack abilities per defender ally, another 10%. So, I mean, it's if you're running 4 extra defenders, it's going to give you like a 100% chance to extra attack. That's pretty good when you add them all together. I mean, that 4 extra defenders at a 20% rate, that's 80%, and this is another 20%, so that's a pretty much guaranteed you're going to attack back. So that's really important. So we're looking at make sure to do Lock and Load on the Punisher if you use the Punisher. They did give an alternate, and I'll go over that here in a little bit as well. The #3 one that he had up here is Daredevil. He wanted the Daredevil passive. Plus 5% speed for self and defender allies. So you're going to get a 10% speed boost to all defenders and yourself to be able to get in there and do things. So overall your speed's going to go up. Your guys are going to be able to attack faster. And this is what he gave as his 3rd highest rated one in here. Jessica Jones here has 2. And that's the next one we're going to go over here, Jessica Jones. Now, Jessica Jones, he said to put it in her basic ability, which is Jawbreaker, which is going to add an extra 20% damage. So attack primary target for 200% damage, plus 50% chance to bonus attack for 160% damage. Each attack has a 50% chance to generate 1 ability energy for a random ally. Well, this right here is going to give you plus 20% damage on your primary attack, so that's 220% damage. 10% damage on your secondary attack, so 170% damage there. Not a huge damage boost, but you're always going to generate 1 ability energy for a random defender ally. So, I mean, that's great. I mean, you don't have to worry about it. If you've got a defender, you're going to get an energy. So, I mean, that's a very useful skill to have. The second thing that he wanted to mark for Jessica Jones was rejection. Plus 50% damage to primary target, clear all positive effects from the primary target. So you're going to be hitting them for 400% damage. Instead of clearing 3 positive effects, you're going to clear all of them. So that's really good, especially right now when you've got other groups out there that all they are is putting up all kinds of crazy amounts of buffs and boosts on their characters. And, you know, AIM puts negatives on your guys while giving themselves positives. This seems like it would be really useful. Those were the 2 that Casino had mentioned to put on Jessica Jones. And he gave an alternate character to run with this, if you have her up high enough, Miss Marvel. And he said to put it in her passive into Fangirl, which is a 20% chance to gain assist now on each hero brawler ally's turn, 20% chance to grant assist now to a hero brawler. Okay, so I mean, that's what he said. If you're going to use Miss Marvel in the build, that's what he suggested to do. Now, there wasn't one from Tony Bench Gaming for the Defenders that I could find, so now we're going to move on to the Spider-Verse, which is the next team that I feel is going to be pretty useful. And they're all city characters, so we're going to be able to find them relatively easy here. Okay. Now, he had a pretty big order here. Now, Casino and Tony Bench both have 2 different. So I'm going to give you what Casino said first, and then I'm going to give you the differences in what Tony Bench said at the same time. All right. Now, Carnage, they did both agree on Carnage. So we're going to go down here and find Carnage. Here he is. Mine is not very well built, but they did both agree Carnage should be your priority guy, and they want it both in his ultimate. So Tony Bench and Casino both agreed to put it into the ultimate. So you're looking at, when you boost all this stuff up here, he's going to be pretty high. You're going to get 2 bleeds for 2 turns from it. You're going to have 420%, right? Now that's extra 150%, so it's going to be a large portion up here. I mean, let's see here, that's 70, 180, plus 280 right here, so that's 300, 460% damage. So, I mean, it's crazy, and it's piercing, so it gets through armor, it gets through defenses. You're going to apply your 2 bleeds, and with this right here, at level 6, the bleeds are going to last for 2 turns. So, very useful skill to build up. They both agreed that that was the #1 pick to put on. Now, Tony Bench, he added another one. He said to put Slaughter up. Now, this one's iffy. If you don't really like this, then don't worry about it. But Tony Bench had Slaughter because of the damage factor and getting the damage per negative effect on your primary targets. Most people just stop at level 6. That's kind of where Casino went to, but he was like, when you add all this damage in, that's 70, that's 140, that's going to put you up to 360% damage to your primary target, and you get an extra 70% damage to your second, so 190% damage there. 70% damage is a lot. So that's why Tony Bench said it's a super effective thing to do, and it might be something that you all would want to do. Now, that was the only difference between Tony Bench and Casino. Tony Bench believes that Slaughter is one that is worthwhile to add to Carnage. Now, the second one they had up here, the second priority one, was Miles Morales. Let's find Spider Miles. Here we go, Spider-Man Miles. Now, once again, Casino says put it into Web Blast. 30% damage to all enemies. Apply Disrupted to the primary target for 2 turns is at level 6. Now, when you go down here to level 7, you're going to get an extra 30% damage, but you're going to apply Disrupted to 2 additional targets. Okay, where right up here you can get it maybe for 1 additional target. Once you get to that level 7, you get it for 2 additional targets. So you're going to get to put Disrupted on 3 targets. So that was a very solid selection, because that's what the Spider-Verse is going to do. They're going to put stuff up, and you're going to get boosts, and you're going to keep throwing out anti-effects on your enemies. Now, however, Tony Benj disagreed. He says once you get up here, putting it on 2 targets is the same. The damage factor isn't that big. So this is a hit or miss for you guys. Casino says yes for this one. Now, ironically enough, Tony Benj did put Venom Shock. He wanted this one to apply the slow for 2 turns. So his build-up idea is you get to apply Disrupt to 2 targets. You get to apply slow for 2 turns for sure on 2 targets guaranteed. So you may end up doing both of them. But Casino said put it on the ultimate. Tony Benj said put it on the special. So that's for you guys to take up. I haven't got to that point yet. We're going to try to work on some of these here in a little bit, and we'll figure it out, because I do need to work on both of these teams, and you and I are going to be able to work on those together. And if anybody has any other suggestions, once we get through all this, please put it down in the comments. I'll figure it out, and I'll probably start making some adjustments to my team as we go. Now, the 3rd rated thing that they had up here was for Venom. Alright, let's go find my Venom. There he is. My baby. Alright, I like Venom. Now, Casino says to put it into Violate, where you're going to apply 3 bleeds for 2 turns. So, I mean, you've got 3 bleeds at level 6, but you're going to get it for 2 turns. So you're adding extra turns to the amount of bleed that you're putting out there. You're going to put up extra damage. So you're going to be at 380% damage. You're going to put an ability block. You're going to give them 3 bleeds, but they're going to last for 2 turns. So Casino said that this one right here was pretty important. Now, note, the Casino stuff came from about 9 months ago, so some things may have changed, but right now, this seems like a pretty viable one. And Tony Benj, guess what? Tony Benj agreed with him. He said this one right here is really good. Violate should be the one that you do on Venom to get him boosted up. So, from these guys to you, and from me to you, apparently Violate is something that is very strong, highly useful. So we've gone through Carnage, we've gone through Miles, we've gone through Venom. Green Goblin was the other one, but since we're not going to be running Green Goblin, we're going to be running the Black Suit Symbiote. I'm not going to cover Venom. If you want me to go back later on, what Casino said was to put it in his ultimate ability, and Tony Benj said don't worry about it at all. So, I mean, if you want to, you can. I'll show you the Green Goblin ultimate ability just to have it there for you guys. Right here's the Green Goblin. His ultimate ability is called Fire and Brimstone, and it's just extra damage. But I mean, right here it's got, you're going to attack 3 to 4 additional times at level 6. So Tony Benj said there's not really a reason to put it up. I mean, you're going to go up to 240. You'll be at 290% damage to your extra targets. I mean, so instead of attacking 2 to 4 times, you'll be at 3 to 4 times. If you stop at this right here, you're going to be at 240% damage instead of 290. That is a 50% damage drop, but the real reason you're trying to do this stuff is just to get to 3 to 4 attacks, is what Tony Benj was saying. And he does pretty good, I guess. He's got quite a few followers, so I'm hoping that his advice isn't too poor. But from where I was researching, he just said keep Green Goblin at 6664. Casino said put this one right here, if you're going to put one, into Fire and Brimstone to get it up. So the last one that they all wanted to cover was Spider-Man himself. Here we go, Spider-Man himself. And Casino just said put it into his passive. Tony Benj actually agreed to put it into his passive, so we're going to look over the Spider Sense. So when you go to level 5, it's a plus 5% dodge chance, and on dodge, fill Spider-Man, Miles, and this character's speed bar by 10%. So you're going to get a 25% chance to dodge, so that's pretty good. And you're going to get to fill your speed bars up for him and Miles Morales, right? Now, the one difference is Tony Benj said to put it into Agile Attack as well, which is going to give you a 50% damage to your primary and secondary targets, and a 10% chance to evade. Alright, so right here when you're looking at this, you're attacking your primary target for 220 at level 6, you're going to get a 50% boost, so it'll be 270 damage. 70% chance to chain up to one adjacent target for what will be 200% damage, and a 50% chance, which is going to go up to 60% chance to evade. So you're going to have a 60% chance to evade, which counts as a dodge, and then you're going to get that 20% extra when you use the other one. So it gives you a really high chance to dodge and fill up speed bars. So Tony Bench said to put this one right here up. I'm not sure about that one myself. This seems like it's kind of iffy. You're already going to have a pretty high percent evade. Now, if you have extras, this would be one good one to put into. But I think for me, it was low on their list. On both of their lists, it was like the number 5 thing to put on there was his passive, and this would probably be like the number 6 thing to look at to add into. So it's not super high, but that right there covers between Casino and Tony Bench what they suggest for their T4s. And looking at this, I mean, some of these were very, very shared. I mean, when you looked at the listing, you had Spidey's passive, you had Venom Special, and you had Carnage's Ultimate. Were all 3 on their list. So those 3 are ones that at least 2 of the top players are guaranteeing are ones you want on the Spider-Verse. Now, with all this said and done, we're going to start trying to work some of these guys up because I haven't really been doing that. They're still low. I believe I'm going to try to pump up my Carnage first. We're going to hit Carnage right here. I've got about 2 million, so let's try to get him up effectively to something playable. How about try to get him to 60? Alright, we'll put about 1 million into Carnage. So this is going to be useful. This is going to get us to at least 6664, probably across the board. And with luck, we'll be able to make sure that everything's going to work decent here. Alright, so we've got him at 6664. And that's going to be a pretty big boost, I believe, for Carnage here. Now, I do not have the, well, I mean, I may be able to take him up close to 70, but I doubt it yet. It's like 2 million to go from level 60 to 70. So I don't think I can quite get him there. But once I do, this is probably going to be some of the stuff that I'm going to start sinking into. So, absolute Carnage for sure. But anyway, those were my advices. So I'm going to take some of the Spider-Verse teams here once I boost them up just a little bit. Let's see what we've got here. Let's try to get Miles up to 62. I want these guys to be at least playable. I kind of let these guys slide for a while. I'll get them all to at least 6664 right now, and then we'll start really working on them later. Alright, so there was Carnage, there's Miles. Spider-Man is at 60, he is at 6664. Let's check out Venom. Venom's up at 70, he's 6664. Once again, right now I'm just a little short on orange orbs. So we've got them all at 6664, at least 60s. I'll try to work them back up to 70 here a little bit later. Let's go back in here and we'll check out the Defenders right here, and we'll see what we can do with some of them. I don't believe I have the capability of pumping all of the stuff up here, but yeah, I don't. Like I said, I'm just short on orange materials, so once I get enough of those, we'll go back in here and we'll try to work these guys up. But those are the 2 city teams that we're going to use for viability in my alliance. If you have suggestions, please feel free to put them down in the comments. I'm going to cut this video off here. I've got some orbs I want to open up, and I'll just do that for fun. And then I've got to get in here and start doing some raiding, which, I mean, I can give you a brief shot at some of my raids so you get to actually see some content instead of just, oh, look at this character, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we'll go in here and I'm going to do some of this Ultimus 6 here. I hadn't joined yet. Now, Ultimus 6, I do have an assigned lane. I normally run lane 2. So we're going to get in here and we're going to launch this right here. I just use my BKT team. It's simple. I can walk through this. Probably going to be really boring for you to watch. So I might go ahead and just do this one node, and then I'll cut it for the day and let you all go do your thing. But I do appreciate you all watching. I've been pretty blessed so far. I've had quite a few people respond. I do enjoy responses. Please put them down in the comments there. I enjoy hearing from people, and I will respond. It might take me a while. Just depends on how many responses I get. But I will respond. And if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you can know when I put more videos up. Share this, please. The best way to help my channel grow is to share the videos. And once we get everything good and going, maybe we'll have a pretty nice community again. And hopefully we can build things up and do some good stuff. I think the next video I'll go over might be some more beginner stuff. This right here is for the guys wanting to hit DD3 later on, so I know it might not be what you all are wanting to see right now, but hopefully it gives you ideas for teams that you can build up a little bit later. In the meantime, once this one right here is done, oh, I love that effect. That's a great effect. You can't beat Thanos jumping across, screaming out loud with his fist up in the air, just smashing down on people. I mean, that's a beautiful effect they did. Also, for those of you who are wondering why you can see the red dots in the people's eyes, I run BlueStacks 4 on my computer to play this. Plus, I have it on my phone. So, please check out BlueStacks. It's a really good emulator and lets you do a lot of cool things. Plus, there are multiple video games that you can put on there, multiple app games, and you can run them on your computer at 60 frames per second. So, I mean, it's really clean. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Like I said, if you like it, give me a thumbs up so I know people are enjoying the videos. Click the subscribe button, click the bell icon so you know when I put another video up, and I will catch you next time. Bye.